Learning English podcast from TTB Learning English.
Hello and welcome to English Podcast from TTB Learning English. I'm Tracy.
And I'm Brian.
Today we're talking about something surprisingly difficult, not reacting.
Honestly, that already sounds impossible for me.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. If someone sends me a rude message online, my fingers are immediately ready to type a dramatic response.
And that's exactly why today's topic matters. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing.
That sounds wise and frustrating at the same time.
Honestly, it kind of is.
Before we begin, let's start with today's quiz question.
According to psychologists, what usually happens when people react emotionally during an argument? A. The conflict ends faster. B. The conflict often becomes worse. C. People become more honest.
Honestly, definitely B. I've seen enough family dinners to know that one.
We'll find out later if you're right.
So Tracy, what exactly does not reacting mean?
Well, it doesn't mean becoming emotionless. It means learning to pause before responding emotionally.
So basically, not letting anger drive the conversation.
Exactly.
Honestly, that's really difficult nowadays. Everything online encourages instant reactions.
Yes. Social media especially rewards emotional responses.
Angry comments get attention.
Exactly.
Calm people rarely go viral.
That's probably true.
Imagine a dramatic internet argument where someone replies with, "I understand your perspective and wish you well."
Honestly, people would probably be confused.
Exactly.
But learning not to react immediately can protect your peace of mind.
That's something people talk about more these days, protecting your peace.
Yes, because constant emotional reactions are exhausting.
Honestly, very exhausting, especially if you overthink things.
Are you an overthinker?
Oh, absolutely.
If somebody replies with just okay in a text message, suddenly my brain starts creating 10 different emotional stories.
Honestly, I think many listeners can relate to that.
And usually the situation isn't even serious.
Exactly. Sometimes our emotional reaction creates more suffering than the actual problem.
That's deep.
Thank you.
Honestly, this episode already feels like therapy.
Free therapy with vocabulary practice.
Exactly what the world needs.
One reason not reacting is powerful is because it gives you control.
Control over yourself?
Yes. When you react instantly, you're often acting emotionally instead of thoughtfully.
So pausing gives your brain time to catch up.
Exactly.
Honestly, some of my biggest regrets happened because I reacted too quickly.
Like what?
Oh, sending emotional messages late at night. That never ends well.
Honestly, that's a universal human experience.
And the next morning you read your own message and think, who wrote this dramatic novel?
Exactly.
Sometimes, sleeping before responding is the smartest decision.
Very true. Psychologist Dr. Elaine Parker says emotional distance creates mental clarity.
Meaning we think more clearly after emotions calm down.
Exactly.
Honestly, emotions are strange. One tiny comment can ruin someone's entire mood for hours.
Especially criticism.
Oh yes, human beings are surprisingly sensitive to criticism.
Even confident people.
Exactly. Someone can receive 50 compliments and one rude comment, and guess which one they remember.
Unfortunately, the rude one.
Exactly.
But not reacting immediately can stop negative situations from growing.
Honestly, silence can be surprisingly powerful.
Yes. Sometimes silence communicates confidence.
And sometimes it drives people crazy.
That too.
Honestly, some people want emotional reactions because it gives them power.
Very true. If someone knows they can easily upset you, they may continue doing it.
But if you stay calm, suddenly the situation changes.
Exactly.
Honestly though, staying calm doesn't mean suppressing emotions forever.
That's very important. Healthy emotional control is different from pretending you don't feel anything.
Because eventually, emotions explode if you ignore them completely.
Exactly.
Honestly, humans are basically emotional volcanoes with Wi-Fi.
That might be the strangest thing you've said today.
And yet, somehow accurate.
One useful strategy is learning to pause before responding.
Even a few seconds can help.
Exactly.
Honestly, breathing deeply sounds simple, but it genuinely works.
Yes, because physical calmness affects mental calmness.
Another thing I've learned is that not every opinion deserves a response,
Absolutely.
especially online. Some internet arguments are basically two strangers fighting emotionally while eating cereal in different countries.
Honestly, modern life is very strange sometimes.
It really is.
Mindfulness teacher Sarah Lynn once said, "Your reaction is often more important than the event itself."
That's actually powerful.
Because two people can experience the same problem very differently depending on their reaction.
Honestly, that's true in workplaces too. One stressed employee can create panic in an entire office.
While calm people often help everyone relax.
Exactly.
Calmness is strangely contagious.
That's a lovely way to describe it.
Thank you.
Do you think people become calmer with age?
Honestly, yes. I think life eventually teaches people that many things aren't worth emotional energy.
That's true,
When you're younger, everything feels urgent and dramatic.
especially relationships.
Oh, definitely.
One unanswered text message can suddenly feel like a national emergency.
Honestly, that's painfully accurate.
But eventually you realize most situations pass naturally.
And reacting emotionally often makes them worse.
Exactly.
Another important thing is choosing where to place your attention.
Meaning?
Well, if you react to every negative comment, criticism, or annoyance, your life becomes emotionally chaotic.
Honestly, that sounds exhausting.
Exactly.
So emotional discipline is really about protecting your energy.
Very well said.
Thank you.
Of course, there are moments when reacting is necessary.
Right? If someone is being harmful or disrespectful, silence isn't always the answer.
Exactly. Healthy communication still matters.
The goal isn't becoming passive.
Right.
The goal is choosing thoughtful responses instead of emotional reactions.
Exactly.
Honestly, that sounds simple when we say it slowly into microphones. But in real life, it's much harder.
Very true.
Especially when you're stressed, tired, hungry, or already emotional.
Honestly, hunger alone has destroyed many peaceful conversations.
Absolutely. Never trust serious discussions that happen before lunch.
That's excellent advice.
Thank you.
Let's move on to today's vocabulary recap.
First, we had overthink. To overthink means thinking about something too much, usually in an anxious way.
Then we had clarity. Clarity means clear understanding.
We also use the word suppress. Suppress means forcing emotions or feelings down instead of expressing them.
Another useful phrase was emotional discipline. That means controlling emotional reactions in a healthy way.
And finally, we had mindfulness. Mindfulness means paying calm attention to the present moment.
Now it's time for the answer to today's quiz question.
We asked what usually happens when people react emotionally during arguments.
And the correct answer was B. The conflict often becomes worse.
Honestly, not surprising at all.
Strong emotional reactions often increase tension instead of solving problems.
Which is why learning to pause can be so powerful.
Exactly.
Honestly, I feel calmer already after this conversation.
That's good.
Although if somebody sends me a rude email later today, we'll see what happens.
Just breathe deeply before replying.
Excellent advice.
That's all for today's episode of TTB Learning English.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Take care and stay calm.
Goodbye.